I think we're all saying the same thing about the events that transpired between Jiri Prochazka and Alex Pereira last night. One, is Prochazka going to be the same after that fight? Like, remember Prochazka versus Blachowicz, how they were hyping that fight up when Prochazka had the belt? If they were to do that now, I'd have Blachowicz, definitely. A heavy hitter like Jan, and someone like Jiri who got that viciously KO'd. And also, it's like, wow. Pereira looked untouchable in there against Jiri Prochazka. And it was a toss-up fight because you watch how the first fight goes. It just kind of seemed like the luck was in Pereira's favor at that point. Where the similar thing with Adesanya fight, a lot of people would argue that the fight could have gone on and they could have let Adesanya, gain his composure. Also, it's like with Prochazka, it's like he pulled full mount, but he could have gotten up. Whereas you look at the two fights for Alex Pereira, what's going down is he is finishing these guys and putting a stamp where, no, this is not early stoppage. Jamal Hill finishes him. Jiri Prochazka, one head kick right out the gate in round 2 and just drops him, and he stays there, not willing to throw anything else because he even knows the bout's over. He looks at Herb Dean, okay, Plus, I love Pereira's demeanor in the octagon the past 2 fights. Again, Jamal Hill almost gets crotch-shotted. Tells Herb Dean, I'm good. And then this one, he kicks Prochazka in the head so bad, Prochazka goes down. And he's like looking at Herb like, dude, it's over? Oh, okay, I got to go again. And then you could tell he felt bad after that barrage of punches, knowing it wasn't necessary. But it is his job to keep hitting until the ref pulls him off. So one thing I got to say, Herb Dean really does like to let the fight go on a little bit. I think now that he's been in this game a number of years, I think he knows he could probably get away with it. Who's that one ref? Mario Yamasaki, I think his name was, who had a really bad reputation for like letting fights go on longer than necessary or something like that. But nah, Herb Dean is getting into that territory where we've seen that a couple times. I mean, obviously there's that Ben Askren versus Robbie Lawler situation, but that was basically what Herb Dean was like. I'm seeing everything that's seeing an unconscious fighter, so I'm going to stop this fight. It's done. But I'm not saying Herb's a bad ref, but man, he's been letting these fights go on super long. But that's, at least, you know what? At least now no one could say it was stopped early. I like that. And you know what it shows? It just kind of shows that Alex Pereira is fully seasoned into like the UFC standard. Because Prochazka, first fight, took him down. Alex Pereira's underhook work on the stand-up was so good that he took his time and he's like, you're not taking me down this time. And, wow. Now, do I think he should move up to heavyweight? Wait. No. I don't think he's big enough for that, knowing the current landscape, because let's see the 3 people who could possibly have that belt. Well, obviously it's going to be John Jones. But if he fights twice, right, in between those times, I think that's the time where John Jones is probably going to Stipe fight and then vacate the title. So John Jones, very well out of the question. Although I will say a prime John Jones beats Alex Pereira. I still think this John Jones still beats Alex Pereira because Alex Pereira, his grappling is still pretty non-existent from what we've seen. Unless he pulls an Ian Gary and learns to really use his jiu-jitsu on a UFC level, I don't see it. Tom Aspinall, heavy hitter. He is susceptible to shots, but just naturally bigger and has slicker groundwork. Curtis Blades. Plus, I think his test before moving up to heavyweight is definitely going to be Magomed Ankalaev. because he's going to need to face down a pure heart wrestler, someone who can beat him. So I honestly think anyone's going to lose to the feet. But Magomed Ankalaev is definitely the one that I think is going to give him any sort of problems. And he's proven that. And you know what? Even if he can't out-grapple Ankalaev, he still has the ability to kind of get back to his feet. But with these Dagestani boys, it's a different style. But I think we're all single-minded in this main event and saying, wow, once again, did good old Stone Hands cook. But, man, 303. I was bummed out when the main event got swapped just because I wanted to see Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. But what we got might have just been better. Cheers out.